What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from DopeTechDaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys a video to talk about the OnePlus 6T. Now normally I don't like to make review type videos after only having the phone for 2 days. I've had this phone for a little over 48 hours now. But it was very similar to the OnePlus 6, which I reviewed earlier this year. So a lot of things like the software, the cameras, they aren't really different that much. And I really want to share with you guys some thoughts about the things that have changed on the phone and whether or not I think you should buy it. So right ahead at the beginning, I'll save the spoilers and all that stuff. There's no reason for you to wait around. Personally, I don't think that you should buy this phone. The OnePlus 6 is actually a better phone, personally, and the reason why is a couple of things. OnePlus didn't change very many things on the 6T from the original OnePlus 6 released earlier this year. The main thing they're trying to sell you on is this guy right here, the fingerprint sensor, which is in display, as you can see right there. And I'll talk more about that in a second. That's the majority of what I want to talk about. But the other changes were the teardrop notch, which is up here at the top. And actually, I do like that change. Reducing the size of the notch does make the overall look of the front display seem nicer, more appealing to the eye. So I definitely do like that change. The other thing they did is they removed the 3.5mm headphone jack. We don't have any 3.5mm headphone jack anywhere on this device. Personally, I think, while that's not the biggest deal in the world, there's a lot of people who like that. And there wasn't really a huge reason to remove that. The battery life wasn't terrible on the OnePlus 6. They did add a slightly larger battery in the OnePlus 6T, which is positive, and I give them props for doing that. So at least removing the headphone jack, they were able to get a little more juice into the battery. So that's great. But the number one thing I want to talk about in my frustration with the device after having it for 48 hours is the in-display fingerprint sensor. It just doesn't work that great. It's not that accurate all the time. So if you place your finger anywhere different than where you originally set it up, as you can see, it doesn't unlock, or it takes forever to unlock. If you have it sitting on a table and you try to unlock it with your thumb, it is almost impossible to unlock this device with your thumb unless you place it in a very, very specific place. I've even tried setting up my index finger, which occasionally works, again, in a very specific orientation, as you can see. But just grabbing the phone and going to unlock it is much slower than when we had the rear-mounted scanner on the back. So personally, in my opinion, OnePlus actually took a feature that worked perfectly in the rear-mounted scanner, which unlocked in nanoseconds. I didn't even notice the unlock time, and replaced it with a feature that they could hype up, this in-display scanner, which doesn't really work unless you place it in a very specific place, and even if you do, it takes a lot longer to unlock than the rear-mounted scanner. So you guys can see, sometimes, depending on how you pull it out of your pocket, it'll take a second to get it in the right orientation. So sure, that's something you can practice, but like I said, sitting it on the table, whenever you have it sitting on a desk or a table, it's actually quite a bit harder and takes longer to unlock on the table. So personally, I find it a little annoying that it takes longer. It's not as good as the original scanner on the OnePlus 6. And yeah, there's Face Unlock. I know a lot of people are going to say Face Unlock is there, but OnePlus Face Unlock is not secure. So if you really want a secure biometric method, you're going to be using this fingerprint sensor. And so you're going to need to get used to it and get used to how it works. And I've kind of gotten used to it, as you can see, but you can see how long it takes it to unlock if I stick my finger in certain spots. So if you're the person who's just been used to grabbing your phone out, you put your finger on the scanner on the back, it automatically is unlocked by the time you get it out of your pocket. That's not going to be the case here. You're going to really have to practice putting your phone in the correct orientation, and if you ever put your thumb in a place that's not quite working, then you're going to take a little longer to unlock. Sure, eventually it'll unlock if you sit it down again, but that's a little annoying when we've had really accurate scanners. Otherwise, I do like the device from other perspectives, other than this fingerprint sensor issue, as you can see, just occasionally annoying me. The software is still great. I love Oxygen OS. The cameras are still sort of middle of the road. They're not, as good as the Pixel 3 XL, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, or even the Note 9. I'll talk more about those later. I'm going to compare it to some of those phones. But again, if you can find a OnePlus 6 on Swappa or GearBest or another retailer, OnePlus doesn't sell the 6 anymore now that they released the 6T. If you can find a OnePlus 6, why wouldn't you do that? It's practically the same phone, maybe a little bit bigger notch, which is the main thing that I think is the selling point here. It definitely has a better working fingerprint sensor, and you have the headphone jack if you care about that. And you can probably find one for a little bit less money. So in my personal opinion, the in-display fingerprint sensor, not quite ready for prime time. In my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily buy the phone unless you're going to get $300 trade-in credit on T-Mobile and you're going to get it for $270 or whatever, and you're trading in a phone that you just really don't use, that's not worth much money, then maybe it's worth it. But otherwise, the OnePlus 6 is probably a better phone than the 6T. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share those thoughts with you just in case you're thinking about picking up this phone. That's sort of how I feel about it at the end of the day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You guys can also like and check out all my social media links in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.